We're going to be talking about investing your IRA or 401k into a private company, not on the stock exchange. If it's a small business in your community, if it's a startup or whatever, and you got the inside track on it, you can invest in it with your IRA. A lot of people are just used to, like, buy Apple or something on the NASDAQ or the New York Stock Exchange. Nope. From when IRAs were very first created, you can invest in private companies. Here's the problem. Fidelity doesn't let you do it. Merrill Lynch doesn't let you do it. TD Ameritrade doesn't let you do it. Why? They're a broker-dealer. They only let you buy publicly traded stocks that broker-dealers sell. So you need a self-directed IRA. Every big business is publicly traded. It was once a small company.
Yeah, and that insider knowledge you might have about, if you're like, oh my gosh, this restaurant down the street, stick with restaurant for a minute, is the best kept secret.
Yeah.
I know this is going to franchise someday. I know this is going to go big. The owner just doesn't realize it.
Yeah.
Well, there's nothing stopping your retirement account from investing in that. And we're going to give you some of the things to be aware of and due diligence and watch your step. It can be risky.
Yeah, I mean, more risk, but more reward.
Yeah.
If you pick them right. And but let me talk about why. Okay, I want to talk about two reasons why. One, if you're picking good small businesses or startups that are going to become bigger businesses, they could be selling to a strategic or to private equity. They could go public, and you could get a big return on your money. So one concept is just like, these could be valuable investments, and I have more opportunity to invest in those. The other angle of this is, I want to do it in my Roth IRA in particular and pay zero tax. And so that's like, let's just say you could have invested in Facebook before it was on the public stock exchange, before it was a publicly traded company. Maybe you could use your Roth IRA to buy Facebook stock before anyone else did and be the first outside investor in Facebook. And then you could have made a $500,000 investment, and that could have made you $1 billion. And if you did it in your Roth IRA, you would have paid zero tax on all of that gain. Hey, I'm cutting in here because I want to make sure you know all the stuff I'm talking about on my YouTube channel, investing in alternative assets, whether it's real estate or private funds or private equity, oil and gas, crypto, saving on taxes, all these concepts I love and I talk about here. I want to let you know we do this at my company, Directed IRA. So get on over to directedira.com/call and book an appointment with one of our self-directed IRA specialists that'll help you understand how to take control of your retirement. Self-directing is not for everybody, and it might be for people at different phases of life. And you know, you've got more time to invest, to look at good deals and analyze them. You've got a little more experience and expertise. And I'll just give you one example. You know, this is like, it's not like the Peter Thiel home runs, but it could be the little franchise business that I've had a client that has a couple $1 million in an IRA from a super profitable little Buffalo Wild Wings franchise, you know. And I had a couple of dentists, you know, that invested in a mouth guard business. They wanted to invest in what they knew, and they're like, well, I could go invest in, you know, the best toothpaste company on the public stock exchange, but like, am I going to get big return on that? You know, like, any value is kind of priced in, but where can I use my expertise and what I see is going on in my space? And so like, but if I can invest now before it goes public or before some bigger medical device company buys it, I could get a much greater return on my money. Your IRA at Fidelity, TD Ameritrade, is a broker-dealer. It's a broker-dealer IRA. You can buy stuff that broker-dealers sell, publicly traded stocks. If you're like, I want to buy the small business or the private company or the startup, they're like, you can't do it. Not because IRAs can't do it, because broker-dealer IRAs can't do it. So you need what's called a self-directed IRA, which is what we do at our company, Directed IRA, where we let your IRA invest in a real estate and small business, in a private fund, private company, crypto, whatever asset you want. It doesn't have to be publicly traded.
There we go. And so wherever your broker-dealer money is, there's no penalty or tax to open a self-directed account, get it transferred over. Now we're in business.
Yeah. Now you can invest in an asset you know and believe in, or diversify your portfolio, or whatever the opportunity is, however you want to approach it from your why. But that's the how. It takes a self-directed IRA. We do this every day at Directed IRA. We're the #1 company in the space, is fastest growing, best customer service, #1 technology. You just can't beat us. Yeah, you just can't. If you are a busy business owner, and so many of our self-directed investors are busy business owners.
Yeah, kind of like back to Dylan.
Yeah. They are like, I'm so busy in my business, but they might have money in their retirement accounts. Their spouse may have money in their retirement accounts, and they're going to see these opportunities. We're not talking about you going to bust your butt to run another business. We're talking about you to use your IRA or 401k to invest in these opportunities, using your knowledge and expertise that you've built over a decade or 20 or 30 years in whatever you've done, whatever industry you've been in, to find those business opportunities where you have that insider knowledge and information that can work in your favor.
Yeah, let me be bad cop here for a second and tell you some things you can do. Okay, I'm not gonna kill things. All right, so when we talk about don't buy a job, and what we mean by that is the IRS doesn't want you to do that. I don't like that from an investment strategy anyways, but the IRS is like, any company you or your retirement account owns 50% or more of, if it owns the whole thing, there's this prohibited transaction issue of you working for it and taking a salary. Now, if your IRA is like, well, I'm putting my IRA for 1/3, and I'm gonna work in the business with some other people and I'll get a salary for that, and that salary is reasonable, that could be okay. But we don't want your IRA or you and your spouse's IRA, or, any combination of these disqualified people owning 50% or more. The other thing you have to be careful about is, well, I'm not talking about a business you already own or that your spouse owns or that your kids are, we're talking about third parties or new businesses. If you own an existing business, personally, your IRA can't come in and inject some cash in it to try and grow it. Okay, that's also a prohibited transaction. So those are a couple no-go areas. Let's just say that. Well, I think the last thing is just some due diligence items here. So as you're looking at particularly an existing business or buying a business from someone, of course, the main thing I want you to focus on is the financials. Is this business and are the financials actually accurate? You're buying income typically if you're paying money for a business. And so we want to make sure those financials are true, and you want to see profit out of the business. Now, whether you're doing a $10 million deal or a $200,000 deal, the amount of effort, your time you're going to put into this and costs and expenses of lawyers is vastly different.
Yeah, but I like what Matt just said. Look at really going hard at the numbers, getting some accounting and legal support. You're going to be signing NDAs. They're going to be turning over tax returns. And for the average person, this can be a very challenging process because it can be a little scary going in and looking at financials and what am I looking at here? If Matt's going to say financials, I'm going to say the person. Who are you investing in? Because the financials are going to tell one story, but who is this person? How is their marriage? How is their family life? Are they in debt up to their eyeballs? Are you throwing them a lifeline and they're just going to get back into the same problem? Go hang out with these people. Go find out who you're going to be partnered with, because that is going to be a key indicator of the success you're going to have.
We want to make sure everybody knows this is an option. Okay, it's not on the menu in your brokerage account. It's not on the menu at Wall Street, but it is, frankly, the heartbeat of America's small businesses. And you can be investing in a small business in your community, in a startup, in your friend's business, in something in your industry you see. You can actually tap your IRA or 401k to invest in it and get all those gains that could be substantial if you pick the right ones back into a tax advantage account like your Roth IRA or traditional IRA.